Hey, it's Angie from Canterbury Trust Farm. I was trying to think of some things to loom knit. How about loom knitting a cute summer top, sweater sort of top that you could wear underneath another shearer blouse? I did two different things. The first thing I did sort of like a crop top, and I used this longer adjustable, I have the other project in here, I got two different variants. This longer adjustable loom, which is 19 inches when fully adjusted, and the inside loom area is 17 inches. And I used the full loom, and when it comes off the loom, it is approximately 14 by 14, so it's approximately 28 in diameter. And I loom knitted with the cuff, it was probably approximately 10 inches, 10 to 11 inches, and then of course I did a cuff to begin with, and then I folded over the top and did my own cuff for that one. I used the interior of a daisy loom. So if you watch any of my videos, I use the interior circle of the daisy loom, or what is this? This is a flower loom, whatever you want to call it, all the time for small tube-like loom. You can buy small looms, but I have this, and this is what I've always used. So I did for the straps on this style one, I did two approximately 11 to 12 inch tubes for straps, and the thought is I'm going to sew those in as straps for like a tank top type style top. So that's the first one that I toyed around with. And I used a 4-weight yarn, and it was like one skein, and the skein didn't have a band on it, and because I buy these big lots of yarn, I'd say it probably was about a 4 to 6 ounce skein used. Before it was, before I used it anyway, I had a little bit left. So that was the first toying around, sort of. So on this one, it's different. This was an acrylic that I used on the bluish one, but this was recycled, reclaimed cotton, 100% cotton yarn. And I did this the same way, but I made this longer. I did the cuff, and now I'm doing the strap loom knitted, and I was going to show you sort of how to do the strap on the loom. So this one I loom knitted for, I'm making these for my daughter. She wears, I would say, anywhere from like a 2 to a 3 size, so she's smaller. So this is what size this is for. So I loom knitted for approximately 13.5 inches. And again, this one actually is going to be about 30 inches around. It's because the fabric was, when it becomes loom knitted fabric, the way the yarn was, it wasn't as drawn up as the acrylic. So it's a looser, and you can see it's got a looser weave to it. So I loom knitted, I just said that, did that, and then to do the strap. So let me show you how I'm loom knitting the strap on here, because remember on the blue one I'm going to sew the strap to it. I did the 2 tubes and I'm going to sew it, but on this one I wanted to loom knit it inset into the weave, so it wasn't a separate thing I had to sew on. I moved over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pegs, which is approximately 3 inches from the end of the 17-inch interior diameter. So I moved over 3 inches. I'm doing 8 pegs for the strap, which makes the strap come out to just about 2 inches wide. So I did that for the first strap, and I'm going to show you how I did it on this one over here. So after I finished that strap, I just loom knitted down. I've counted 9 pegs from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I worked this back in here, and then I was back to here. So I'm going to do, I want to loom knit 8 pegs 6, 7, 8. So undo the 8 pegs. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm just going to reverse again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm just sort of going back and forth on those same 8 pegs. And as I'm doing this, underneath the loom is forming just this 2-inch wide strap. Let me do a few more rows and then we'll probably be able to see it underneath here. How you want to do it is you want to measure, whoever you're making this for, the shoulders, where you want the straps to end and begin on your shoulder blade and on your front of your chest. And then I would figure in that's what you need to that measurement. If you're doing an inset like this, if you're doing the tubes, you need to add about a ½ inch on each end, so a full inch of knitting to sew it in. But on this, it should just be whatever the measurement is. Start to see it here. Not yet. You can't see it yet. Let me see how long. So I knitted on this. So I knitted over here. It's approximately 12 inches long. You can see it start like buckle up because that strap is forming under there. So you're starting to see it sort of coming out from the other side here. You can sort of see the little strap is forming. It's starting to look like this one, which will come out there. So let me finish this strap and then I'll show you how I'm going to put this on this side and join it and then finish the top of the sweater. Okay, how we're going to do the straps on the top. Now I want to make sure I have a lot of yarn. If you watch my videos, you see that I like this upholstery needle. It's very long, has a big eye, and it's just really easy to work with when you're loom knitting because of the length. So here's the first strap right here. I'm just going to put this sort of in here to mark where it is. So I want to take my yarn just like I was taking something off of the loom, and I want to pull it all the way here. And we're going to take it off the loom. Up into the point of the strap. I sort of move this over here. Now I want to lift up this loop. I'm going to use another needle, sort of put it on there. And I want to do that. It's a little tricky here. You got to sort of get all your loops on the one needle here because we're going to have to pull it over to the other side. Okay. Stitches on this needle here. So I want to hold on to that. Now, So the trick is not letting go of that. So what I'm going to do is get a safety pin and put all of my 8 loops on my safety pin and close it so I've got all those loops. Now I want to go back to my needle and thread, or needle and yarn. I'm going to go behind the strap. I'm just going to loosely pick up a stitch as I go across the strap. Do sort of like, just go behind it like a whip stitch sort of, just very loose so it looks like it's part of the weave. And I'm just doing that to sort of trail across that strap to get back to the other peg on the other side of the strap. As I get closer to that next peg, I'm going to move up a few holes there, a few of the little, where we're doing the little weave, so I can get closer back to the peg. And now I'm okay, now I'm back to that. And I have, my strap is free because I've worked all the way over there. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my loops back on the needle, if I can get them on there. Now, I want to bring it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I got the first one on. Okay, that makes it easier. Over. Okay. All right, that's on. Okay, so now I want to take this off until we get to the next strap here. And as I do that, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to come right next to it and I'm going to sort of draw it up so there's no gap there. Pull that tighter. Okay. And now I'm going to continue taking it off the loom until we get to that strap. So the strap is here, and I'm going to work my way down there. Now I'm trying to decide, do I want to, I think I'm going to go straight, instead of using the needle this time, I think I'm going to go straight to the safety pin. It seemed like it was easier. We'll see. because I didn't move my yarn to the other side of the strap before I started taking it off. So I'm just going to tie a knot, cut it, tie a knot here so it doesn't unravel. And then over on this side, I'm going to take the string that I was taking it off with. I'm going to poke it under there. And I'm also going to tie a knot. To keep that from unraveling. Okay, because I should have gone all the way across with my yarn, and I did not. So now I have this sort of issue here. So let's see what we're going to do. So, see, if I would have gone all the way across like I did last time and joined it here, then that wouldn't have been joined, but here we go. So let's improvise. Alright, so I have the yarn, and we're still connected over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this needle and thread, and I'm going to go through my loops that are now currently on the safety pin. Before I move it to the other side here. That way nothing's going to come unraveled if I go ahead and put the yarn through there. Hold my yarn through my straps there. Okay, I'm going to do it loosely because I'm going to go back to the... Alright, so now I have this problem over here because of what I did. So I'm going to take, since I got this thread, the yarn and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and finish off this very end here so it won't unravel at all. A lot of my issues are coming from the multi-strand natural cotton that I'm dealing with. It's got like 6 strands. Okay, alright, so that is taken care of. Now I'm going to come over here. Can't find my 8 loops, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to take, that's tight, so I'll come back and trim that up in a minute. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to attach that back to this yarn if I can get all my strands to cooperate. Over there. Alright, now this is separated. Now if I would have gone all the way across like I did in the last one and then taken it off, but I didn't, so we had to compensate. Okay, so let's find all of the loops. Let's do, alright, so we got the strap over there, so now let's go back over here. Remember we had to tie a knot on this one. So we want to take up that gap. So let's take up that gap here. We're going to have to fix that when we come back. When we get it off the loom, we're going to have to look at it all and see if we can salvage that in there. Okay, so now I want to go, just like I'm taking it off the loom. Find where I dropped that loop. which isn't clear since the yarn is all messed up. Oh, okay, there's one loop. There's a loop. Okay. Now, got the loop. And it's a little messed up right here, so I'm going to try to take up the gap. And you can just see how my yarn is just giving me all kinds of headaches here. Okay, and I don't want to pull on that strap because I don't want that strap to gather up. Now we're past it, so I'm going to take this off the loop, off the loom here, back till we get to that other strap. And like I said, we might have to do some patching up when we get it off the loom, but let's see. Maybe not. Maybe we get lucky. So you see how if you just make one mistake, how it can put all those hours of work in jeopardy. I should have gone across, continued to weave across with the thing there, and I completely just forgot, and so now we've had to do all this sort of improvisation. But also it's a good point to say, don't quit. If you've made a mistake, if you're angry or frustrated, take a break for a minute. Go get something to drink or get a snack or just chill for a minute, and then come back and look at what you've done and how you can fix it. So like what I had to do, I had to cut a few strands here and there, tie a few knots, but ultimately I was able to continue. Now on mine, because I'm using this 6-strand cotton, I really like how it looks and it feels and everything, but it is a bit tricky to knit with because of all these strands, and it's so easy to get one strand hooked on something else, but you just gotta keep pushing on and improvising, and don't let one mistake, you know, just have you throw your hands up and quit, because there's always usually a way to fix it. And if there isn't, then you have to either change and modify your plans, or you have to unravel and start over. All right, now I've got to that. I'm going to sort of, because I don't want a gap there, I'm going to sort of go through these loops and pull it tighter again, just so there's not so much of a gap there. All right, here we go. Half of my situation is these multiple strands of cotton and my cat that is going to drive me insane. He wants out. He is not an outdoor cat. And he has started this. I think having everybody home all day, all night has been worse on the cats than it has been on human beings. And he is going insane, really. Okay, so we're back at the front. That's where the train went off the track. So we know that I should have kept going across it like a weaving thing, come out on this side, then I should have started this strap thing, but I didn't. So now what we want to do, so this is the side of the garment. So I'm going to go through and do a blanket stitch over the top of the thing here, just to try to give it a little bit more definition. I'm dropping down about 2 weave holes, I don't know what to call them, but just to give it a little bit more strength. Okay, by dropping down to like the second row, I'm giving more of a solid edge to that top. Okay, now I'm at the first strap here. I'm going to do the same thing just to give it a little bit more strength. So now, if you can see where it's sort of loose, I think I'm going to reach over and get these loops. Bring it back over here. And then I'm going to do the blanket stitch. I'm hoping the stitch will sort of take it up. Okay. Now we move past that. Okay, so I'm just going to continue along here. Alright, and then through here, this is back over on the strap, so we need to pull that up a little bit. Alright, that looks good. Alright, and now back through here, I'm going to... Alright, that's nice and solid. So the knot situation right here, it might just be as good as it gets. Let me do one more. Maybe we can do a thing over the top. Okay, so this was the front. We had that little bit of an issue. Not too bad, I don't think. And then the back. So this part right here, okay, so that's the back. So we were able to more or less fix that one spot. It's not too bad now. And the front, there's this little bit of right here, but I think if I attempt to do anything to it, it's probably going to accentuate it even more, so I think it's better just to leave it like that. So that one mistake cost me all of that mess. If I would have just wove through the strap like I did on this one, everything would have been probably about 30 minutes less time. So brings us to the blue one, and fortunately this is an easier task since this is just essentially sewing here. And this one was much bulkier on the tops, which, I mean, if you stretch it out and everything, it's probably going to be, but it didn't lay, it wasn't seamless like the straps on that one, on the one we had all the trouble with. How I plan to do this is just, basically, I'm just going to sew it. And since I have that double cuff, I'm going to try to not let my stitches sew through the front by sewing through the cuff instead of the whole thing here. Alright, so that's one, and then the other one. I want to measure how far over over. I came in, it was 2 inches, so I can make sure that they're the same. 2 inches, okay. So that's like a shorter one. So there's the one that was the easy. This one was supposed to be the harder one because he had more parts to sew, but then I made the mistake. So there's the one if you just do the 2 straps separately and sew it on. And here's the one that was supposed to be easier because the straps were all part of it, but then I made the mistake. But I still like the way this one looks. And this one took, I would say, it's hard to tell how many skeins because of the way this is recycled yarn and they all come in like these little balls. I always, whenever I make a project, I usually aim for 2 skeins. I just buy 2 skeins because most projects take at least that. So, and then you have spare. So I would say 2, and the other one I would say about a 6 ounce skein of yarn. Like I said, again, that one wasn't marked either because it had the band was missing and everything. But both of these are like, this is like a 4. The cotton is 6 strands of recycled, reclaimed cotton from a sweater. So it looks cool, but it was rather nightmarish to loom knit with. So that was knitting a summer top. It was a little bit more complicated because of the mistake, but if anything, I hope I showed you just to not give up, to improvise a repair and keep on going and hope for the best. So here's the finished lighter taupe colored one with the cotton, the 100% cotton, and there's the finished product. And it hangs a little bit smoother than the bulkier acrylic yarn will in the different style. So here's the bluer one, the blue one that has the acrylic, the 2 different kinds of acrylic, and it was the other one where we sewed the straps in instead of making them connected to the knitting, so it was a different look. And that one turned out good. This was a crop top, so it was a little bit different. So this has been Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm. Thanks for sticking with me.